Welcome back to the UK's Strongest Man, the next generation here on Challenge, and after the deadlift hold, Matthew McCoy proves he's more than just an entertainer, up there in a strong position after that event.
The next event, the Titanic Compass, and to explain in better detail, a Titanic of our very own who you definitely wouldn't need a compass to find. It's Belfast's biggest landmark, Glen Ross.
Event 6, the Titanic Compass, and what a Titanic event it is. Almost quarter of a ton have to be lifted by these junior class. They've got to get underneath, pick it up and carry it as many degrees as possible. The difference is it's going to take more than an iceberg to stop these guys. Who's going to win? We'll soon see.
Well, we certainly will. The first to go is the man in 7th place with 14.5 points. It's Mark Topham of England. Needs to have a good one here.
From England, Mark Topham.
Let's hear what Mark thinks about it all at this stage in the competition.
Mark Topham, 22, Newcastle, England. I qualified for this competition through England's Strongest Junior. I finished 3rd behind Chris and Adam. Yeah, in England's Strongest Junior I went really well. I was really impressed with my performance. New personal best on the squat and won the log press. I've always thought my strengths have been my shoulders. I'm a pretty good presser, but I'm also really good at moving events like the super yoke. I know I haven't got one in this competition, but that's probably my strongest event. My weaknesses probably are anything to do with height, because I'm not the tallest man in the world. I've seen the stone platforms pretty high. I'd like to think in the future I could be just as up there with Lloyd and Ed Hall and possibly in the Worlds. No, but that's a dream.
Well, let's see what it can do here.
2, 1.
This is the critical part. They're just looking up and you've got to go forwards. And this is really hard work, isn't it, already for Mark Topham. He's got to get it lifted and then get it moved. That's got it. He's got it now. But you see the strain and the stress he's under. He's got to get it. I think that's it. It's around about 90 degrees.
From Scotland,
Well, Cameron Spears of Scotland is struggling so far in this competition. He's having a tough time.
Cameron Spears, 20, and I stay in Fife in Scotland. Qualified for Junior UK Strongest Man by competing at the Junior Scotland Strongest Man qualifier. Well, I competed in strongman from ages 15 to 17. Done 2 or 3 competitions from that age, and then moved on to bodybuilding from 17 till what age I am now, 20. So I've got a bit of experience. I know what the events are like. Strongman's a more injury-prone sport because you're running about with heavy implements, whereas bodybuilding, probably the harder part is the diet and having to keep strict form, things like that, to build better shape. With this competition, I'm not too sure how I'll do, but obviously everybody wants to do their best, so it's just a case of going out there on the day, give it my all and just see what happens.
Well, it certainly is, and this is the moment. For a young man in 8th place with just 6.5 points, he's found it very, very tough indeed so far. But that's a very good start from Cameron Spears. He's gone through 90. And that is the best so far, because Mark Topham, I didn't update you on that yet, 89 degrees. Thomas Parks, incidentally, just 34 degrees. Now then, and Cameron Spears, 120 degrees. As we go into Chris Bundell. Now, Chris Bundell, the leader overall with 34.5 points. And brought their young ladies with them. And a couple of these competitors.
Ready? 3, 2, 1.
Well, Chris has got to get it lifted, and he does so. Now then. 20 to go, and that is really not as good as he would have liked, that's for sure. That's not... They're still measuring that performance. I can tell you that Bundell's was 65 degrees, and now this fella, Adam Bishop, who's currently 2nd, could close the gap remarkably so here if he can be successful. Now, he's only got 65 degrees to beat in terms of Chris Bundell, but 120 degrees to beat in terms of Cameron Spears. So he needs the full 8 points to make a real impression on this. And he started off very, very well indeed. Going towards the full circle. Not quite made it, not quite made it. Just under 300, I would think. You can see the 360, which is the red arrow, but that's a very, very good performance indeed. 269 degrees to Adam Bishop, and that's the lead at the moment. Now, Pierce O'Kane is in 4th place with 24 points so far. Now, what can he do here? 269, 120 are the 2 leading performances. Then comes 89 degrees from Mark Topham. So Pierce O'Kane, once he can get this up, he's got to hold it. Once it's down, it's down. You mustn't let it go, or that's your lot. He's struggling, isn't he, on this? He's around to about 90 there. He's just past 90 degrees, probably 100 degrees, and almost passed out there. We've seen that several times before with the pressure on the chest, and just taken a bit of time to recover from that. But that's over 100 degrees. In fact, it was 115 degrees, Pierce O'Kane. And now Matthew McCoy of Ireland, he was equal second after the first 5 events with 30 points, so he could challenge Chris Bundell. Remember, Bundell only managed 65 degrees here, so it could be a real challenge for the lead here, or second certainly.
3, 2, 1.
Now let's see what he can do. He's got to get that lifted first, and then let's see how far he can go. Bundell's 65 degrees. And to make a real challenge, he's got to go beyond that. Oh, it's down already. Oh, I say. Well, that's not going to impose at all on Bundell with that performance. 30 degrees or thereabouts. And he's looked as though he's hurt his ribs there, actually, moving away, holding his rib. Well, I'll just confirm all that. Bishop, Spears, O'Kane, Topham, and Bundell, Parks, McCoy, and McCabe failed to get the weight up in the first place.
Cameron, excellent work. You took 2nd place there. How's that feel?
Yeah, that was a good event for me. I knew that was one of my better events, so I was hoping to do quite well on that one, and then come 2nd, so I'm quite pleased with that.
And you were honest earlier on in your assessment of your early events, but now you're having a stronger showing, moving your way up the ladder.
Well, yeah, the last 2 events have been good for me. I know the Daddy Dumbbell's up next, and I'm not so great with that. And the stones are to quite high platforms, so being short's not going to help. So just need to do my best to see what happens.
Adam Bishop, the Titanic Compass there, rather victorious. How do you feel?
Knackered. That was the most brutal Conon's wheel I've ever done. It was epic. Like, the pain in your forearms was insane. It felt a lot more than 250, I tell you.
How do you train for something like that?
If you're lucky enough to have the kit, but otherwise it's just kind of trying to go through the pain barrier and just making sure you don't let go of that bar. It's not something you can train in the gym at all.
Well, let's look at the overall scores, and it's close. Look at that. Only half a point now between Bundell and Bishop, with McCoy in 3rd, just 6 points down on Bishop. So, what a competition we've got with just a couple of events to go.